Good morning, traders, and this is your Dow Jones daily review. So we've ended up with a pin bar to the upside, following a pin bar to the downside. So that is just an indication of massive confusion. So the reason for this is there have been a number of data releases that are indicating that the US market could be heading for a recession. Okay, and then on the other side of it, there are some indicators that are still pointing to a fairly strong economy. And I suppose the next earnings season will basically build the base of whichever direction we're going to head in. So for now, you've got quite a bit of confusion. Nobody really knowing what to expect. And that is, you can see with the price action that is forming, as well as the fact that you've got your alligator, because it is projected slightly into the future, flattening out. Okay. And you can see here by the oscillator flattening out the last couple of days as well. That indicates there is no momentum and we actually are clueless in what direction we're going. Any of your other oscillators that are just going to hover in the middle here, you will see the same kind of setup. Okay, and then the last thing, let me just put it on quickly, is if you use a Bollinger Band, you'll see that the Bollinger Band will start flattening out. As you can see, it's starting to flatten out here. If I go to the 4 hour, it's wide at the moment, but we are hovering in the middle. This black line in the middle is our 20 moving average, and you can see how it's flattening out. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so staying with the 4 hour, we do have a trend here, which I suspect is going to hold. And the big question in my eye at the moment is, what's going to happen in the short term? And what's looking like is more confusion. Okay, so my advice when this kind of thing happens is to really stay out of it. And I'm just going to take, okay, I'm taking this swing low or swing high here. There's another one there. There's another level, and I have this, all these swing highs to the upside. Okay. So the other thing we need to look at here is, was this in the 60? Okay, so it was basically above the 61.8 that price headed for. So, personally, I was looking for that level, and I'm going to just push that up onto this. So you can see what I'm doing. This was the level I was looking for here, which was 25,784, which we got through, because that was the closest to 61.8. And then we aimed for this level here. Okay. So we'll look at that on the lower time frames. So for now, in the 4 hour, lots of tails here, lots of confusion. This still looking like a half-hearted clawback, and I'm just thinking, my line of thinking at the moment is that this is still a retracement, and it's going to, it has formed a a lower high, and we are looking to push back to the downside. So the fact that we are agreeing at the moment is really just because the Chinese market is up 0.75% at the moment. So I'm more interested in what's going to happen with Europe. So I know the Dax was up yesterday, but there are some levels, significant levels that the Dax is getting to now. Okay, so there's actually nothing I can suggest here. If you did get in short off these levels, I would still be in short on this level. So I wasn't really in this market yesterday. I was playing around with the South African market, but we have hit some of the levels, and I would argue, you can see here how price hits this 200 EMA, and then you get an exhaustion bar past it, stretching for another level, and then we reverse off there. So that is still very much in play. The only concern I've got is if I draw the trend line from the top to this fractal here, we've broken through that, so we're meandering up. So wouldn't be surprised to see it meander back up to the moving average, 200 EMA here, before moving down. So with the alligator flat like this, I prefer to keep my money in my pocket now. I'm looking for alligator to point up, point down, and give me a direction. Okay, now I'm going to add another line into this mess because it is looking fairly significant, and that is this trend line here. Okay, and we could probably add another one like that. Okay, so what I'm basically highlighting here is, don't be surprised if this is what we're going to trade in for most of today. Okay, total confusion. Traders are not really understanding what the long-term direction is, and the only people that are really making decent money at the moment are the algorithms that are scalping this move. Okay, so my advice to you right now is proceed with extreme caution. Don't try and jump in and anticipate a move to the upside or the downside right now. I suspect a triangle is going to form here. It's going to be a consolidation pattern. You will find the Bollinger Band start squeezing on all the time frames into a proper squeeze. It may take all day, and the breakout from there is going to be fairly significant. Okay, so this sleeping alligator, and it's more than likely across all time frames. So it's on the half hour. It's not quite on the 12 minutes. 12 minutes we are pointing up ever so slightly, but your longer terms, your half hour, your 1 hour, your 4 hour is coming to sleep, and your daily is also coming to sleep. Okay, so that's pretty much where we are at the moment. Now, normally what happens, I'm just going to get rid of the noise. If you look, you can do this on the weekly. So you can see a bigger triangle on the weekly here. There's the bottom, and there's the top. Okay, so you can see how the indecision is at play on the weekly, and I've been pointing out this oscillator here on the weekly for some time now. Even though we are above the alligator, this is indicating we are tired. Okay, and these V reversals, which is what this is, big down, big up. These V reversals are very, very rare. So I would still anticipate some kind of a move down to create a higher low, build a base, and then move up. Okay, so that's still my view on the bigger time frames, and I think this consolidation pattern that we have at the moment, and then moving into lower time frames, is going to be very critical. I think the half hour is probably the one you want to watch. Okay, so yeah, so I think that's my view at the moment. Pay attention, watch out for this. You can see we are bouncing not quite off the 200 EMA at the moment, which we are trying. And there's going to be so many levels that are going to come into play. And you're going to find the big levels don't hold, and then it breaks through to the next level, which is a minor level above it. And, if you're not patient and keep your trade sizes small enough to absorb any losses with a wider stop loss, you're going to be taken out quite often. Okay, so for me, I'll wait for Europe Open, see what happens, but I'm not comfortable either way. Okay, there's so many different patterns. You've got triangles here. You have a flat top triangle forming as well, so it could break the upside, could break the downside. You've got sleeping alligators. There's really no indication that that we have a direction. Okay, before we close off, let's just go through the ichimoku because that normally gives us a fairly good indication of what's going on. So ichimoku, we are ranging at the moment between Kijisen and Tegensen, and Kijisen Tegensen is flat, which it's the same story that we're getting out of the alligator. So there's no momentum, no direction, but we do have a bearish crossover. We've got price through, we've got Chico span breaking through price here as well, and we've got a twist in the cloud on half hour. Those are three bearish signals. So you'd be looking for an opportunity to get short at this stage on the half hour. On the 1 hour, exact same scenario. We are in the cloud. We've had a crossover. Okay. We have had a twist, but it's the wrong direction. So I think for now we are in the cloud. And when we're in the cloud and we're between Kijisen and Tegensen, that means ranging. Okay. Look at the oscillator. The oscillator is grouping back to the upside. When it does that, we're expecting another move to the downside. Okay. So that's the view there. If you look at the 4 hour, we've pretty much sitting between Kijisen and Tegensen again. We've had a crossover. We had a bearish crossover way back here, and Chico span is through price. So these are indicating that the trend is still to the downside. Okay. Now, these pin bars, as I said earlier, are the ones that worry me because price action is not agreeing. Now, the big one here is looking at the daily. You can see Kijisen, Tegensen flat right on top of each other. That indicates complete indecision. Okay. So you can see last month, Kijisen and Tegensen were quite far away and we're trending up. So after 2 months, we had a nice, long, strong uptrend. We've now come into an area of consolidation. Now, this area of consolidation this month could be the move to the downside, or alternatively, this could just be going sideways to get some support off the cloud and then a second move to the upside. Okay, so it just shows you that there is confusion on all time frames at the moment. So for me, my attitude is to wait for the better setups. Okay, you don't want to go on the 6 minutes. So that's what we're looking for. Okay, so yeah, that's my view at the moment. I don't think I'll be trading this today at all, unless we see some positive price action. For as long as we see tails down and tails to the upside, it's barbed wire, it's danger, and I stay out of it. Okay, anyway guys, hope that helps you, and enjoy the rest of the day. Cheers for now.